भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं करुणावरुणालय पालय मां भवसागरदुःखविदूनकृतं रचयाखिलदर्शनतत्त्वविदं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवता जनता सुखिता भविता निजबोधविचारणचारुमते कलयेश्वर जीवविवेकविदं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवयेव भवानिति मे नितरां समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं सुकृते धिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमं परिपालय मां भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं जगतीमवितुं कलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसच्चलतः अहिमांशुरिवात्र विभाति गुरो भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां न हि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सलतत्त्वनिधे भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं विदितानमय विशदैककला न च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो द्रुतमेव विधेहि कृपां सहजां भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणम् अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वतनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् वेणुर्मधुरो रेणुर्मधुरः पाणिर्मधुरः पादौ मधुरौ
1, 2, 3, 4
मधुरं सख्यं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं सुप्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् करणं मधुरं चरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीथी मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिं मधुरा
So welcome everybody. Let's let this beautiful chant, it's Shankara singing to the Divine Mother. Let's let this take us into meditative awareness.
देवी सुरेश्वरि भगवति गंगे त्रिभुवनकारिणि तरलतरंगे शंकर मौलि विहारिणि विमले मम मतिरास्तव पदकमले भागीरथि सुखदायिनि माता तव जल महिमा निगमे ख्यात नाहं जाने तव महिमानं पाहि कृपामयि मामज्ञानम् हरिपदपाद्यतरङ्गिणि गङ्गे हिमविधुमुक्ताधवलतरङ्गे दूरे कुरु मम दुष्कृतिभारं कुरु कृपया भवसागरपारम् तव जलममलं येन निपीतं परमपदं खलु तेन गृहीतं मातर्गङ्गे त्वय्यो भक्त किल तं द्रष्टुं नयमशक्त पतितोद्धारिणि जाह्नवि गङ्गे खण्डितगिरिवरमण्डितभङ्गे भीष्मजननि हे मुनिवरकन्ये पतितनिवारिणि त्रिभुवनधन्ये कल्पलतामिव फलदां लोके प्रणमति यस्त्वां न पतति शोके पारावारविहारिणि गङ्गे विमुखयुवति कृततरलापाङ्गे तव चेन्मात स्रोतस्नात पुनरपि जठरे सोऽपि न जात नरकनिवारिणि जाह्नवि गङ्गे कलुषविनाशिनि महिमोत्तुङ्गे पुनरसदङ्गे पुण्यतरङ्गे जय जय जाह्नवि करुणापाङ्गे इन्द्रमुकुटमणिराजितचरणे सुखदे शुभदे भृत्यशरण्ये रोगं शोकं तापं पापं हर मे भगवति कुमति कलापं त्रिभुवनसारे वसुधाहारे त्वमसि गतिं मम खलु संसारे अलकानन्दे परमानन्दे कुरु करुणामयि कातरवन्द्ये तव तटनिकटे यस्य निवास खलु वैकुण्ठे तस्य निवास वरमिह नीरे कमठो मीन किं वा तीरे शरटक्षीण अथवा श्वपचो मलिनो दीन तव न हि दूरे नृपतिकुलीन भो भुवनेश्वरि पुण्ये धन्ये देवी द्रवमयि मुनिवरकन्ये गङ्गास्तवमिममलं नित्यं पठति नरो य स जयति सत्यम् येषां हृदये गङ्गा भक्तिः तेषां भवति सदा सुखमुक्तिः मधुराकान्त पञ्जटिकाभिः परमानन्दकलितललिताभिः गङ्गास्तोत्रमिदं भवसारं वाञ्छितफलदं विमलं सारं शङ्करसेवकशङ्कररचितं पठति सुखीस्तव इति च समाप्तः जय जय गंगे जय हर गंगे 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 जय जय गंगे जय हर गंगे
Sa Maharini Rini Sa So let's remain in awareness. As Dzogchen Rinpoche used to say and says, although hundreds or thousands of explanations are given, there's only one thing to be understood. Know the one thing that liberates everything. Awareness itself, our true nature. And our beloved teacher, Lama Norla, is still ill. So we're going to focus with him this morning. I'd like us, if we could, to go back to whenever he was here in May, I think it was, and he was giving the transmission of the Shangpa tradition in a very direct manner, and he asked us and invoked the mingling of the minds, as he said it, this mingling of awareness. Huh? I can remember that moment. And all these places in time, actually doorways, into timeless awareness itself. Just like that empowerment was an empowerment of timeless awareness manifesting in time. So with that understanding, that confidence will extend to that moment. We'll enter that mingling place. And having been empowered by the Dakini mantra, invoking that dimension within ourselves and beyond us. We'll focus inside to inside directly with Lama Norla this morning. Extending the light of divine compassion, as Yangtang Rinpoche describes it. Extending into his presence, into the past, and into the future, and with the healing light and energy. I'm going to do this for a while, resting. If you want, you can feel the mantra that Patricia was chanting, or Dakini mantra. And you can feel that silently in your body also. The vibrations, manifesting itself through sound, but also non-locally. Will extend to each other's families and friends and ancestors. And it's really true. Two awarenesses are better than one. So let's remain in awareness for a while. I'm going to talk a little bit. It seems like we're ending a semester here on that little seminar. Contributions of Phenomenology and Dzogchen to psychotherapy and healing, which is really about awareness and the embodiment of awareness and transmission of awareness and working within this field of awareness and with the support of awareness itself, the different dimensions, the archetypal, Dharmakaya. And we began, in fact, it's been for this semester, focusing a lot on the two ways of knowing, Mens and Semde, to use that language, but knowing through our mind as mind, and knowing through awareness as awareness, and how the integration is really useful. We focused a lot on the teachings of Longchenpa about this topic, integrating mind into awareness. Mind that knows differences, details, phases, and awareness that knows awareness, its own nature, non-duality. And in this way, we can live within non-duality, within duality, and through duality, live in non-duality. And last week, we focused on, if I can remember, Longchenpa and absence. And absence, as he introduces absence as a doorway into non-conceptual knowingness, itself the doorway into natural awareness, primordial awareness, following his text on natural awareness. We may go over that again, because I've personally found it really, really useful and wonderful in its clarity. But as we were evoking the Dakini mantra, the feminine, this morning, perhaps we'll spend a little time on the feminine again today. There's a little paper from the Western side of things. You don't have to write this down. I'll send it to you. By Winnicott on the male and female elements, huh? And he writes about the male and female elements not being gender specific, huh? And actually, as we use Dzogchen tradition, the male-female elements are not gender specific either, huh? And there's different ways of expressing them within ourself and in the world. And one way is the skillful means and gnosis. So I'm going to, again this morning, use a text which I have been doing in a long time, a Dakini text. And we do this on Saturdays. And you don't have to be in any tradition to do this. It embodies all traditions. We embody traditions. That's why we love the traditions to mix in our bodies, huh? The different traditions we participate in. And we become universal people. So I'm going to read a Dakini text, a text invoking the feminine, and it uses particular metaphors of the feminine within this culture and its tradition. In the Vajrayana tradition, there are various Dakini practices, goddess practices, huh? And these stories, these narratives, are mythic in the best sense of that word. Invocations, like shamanistic invocations, invoking, bringing forth that dimension within our own body and our own minds. Say yes, that makes sense to you, huh? So we bring the experience of the Dakini, or even said in another way, the archetypical dimensions of the awareness field into the experience of our essential nature of awareness. So, in this context, the Dakini is direct perception, gnosis, awareness, knowingness, wisdom gnosis. And these texts, which are not literal, but they're evocative. And their symbolic power, and like language, has symbolic power, real power, and can bring forth within us, inform, not information, but informs within us what they signify, what they symbolize, what they bring into explicitness. In a certain way, as we know, everything, absolutely everything is method. And these invocations are expressions of a singular field of transmission, bringing forth from within our own experience the innate awareness, which is wonderful and magical force. These texts bring forth the various dimensions of our own experiential awareness, which for the Vajrayana Buddhas is ultimately cosmological, and the Anima mystic, the Anima, psyche. And the psyche is essentially mystical in nature and essentially oneness. And as Jung would say, you do not simply have psyche, but you live in psyche, and the world is psyche, huh? The Anima Mundi. So it's bringing that dimension, which is so complete in its healing manifestation. Also for our purposes, the true unconscious is primordial awareness, as this primordial consciousness is for so many people experientially unconscious, not known directly enough. The unconscious, as primordial awareness, is actual and is multidimensional. And this reality is manifested both as the symbolic dimension, the Sambhogakaya dimension, which is luminous, vortexual elements, and is manifested also as a Nirmanakaya dimension, this world of desire, flesh, us, cars, bodies. And the symbolic is the medium of the actuality that brings forth the experiential awareness in its multidimensionality. It breaks us out of concreteness of mind and density. And it opens the infinite dimensions of its own self. The symbolic arises out of transitional space of awareness. Again, to use Winnicottian language, to be in that transitional space, then the archetypal manifests experientially, directly. It arises in this intermediate area of place. Say yes if that's making sense to you. Out of transitional space is where, from a Winnicottian Jungian point of view, is where the archetypical dimension becomes manifest. In this intermediate area between reality and fantasy, the door opens. When you and I enter awareness of awareness, we're not located in mind alone. We're entered in this spacious place. And then the mind can be used to bring forth and to actually manifest these experiences of awareness, can give it form in the Manakaya as well as Sambhogakaya language. Say yes if that's making sense for you. The archetypical dimension is not consciously experienced if we're located in mind alone, even if we try and try and try. Or if we're located only in the body, the wordless body, the body of lexthemia. Can't find any words. The body without language or understanding. When there is transitional awareness, or this awareness of awareness, this rigpa, this dimension of awareness opens up to us its innermost essence. And of course, as babies, this was available to all of us, more or less. But as life unfolds, baby gnosis can become foreclosed. As mind happens, as object relations, as mind is built, it can become foreclosed. And a memory that is always back there. But for many, it is not completely foreclosed. It is open, challenging in its openness, but nonetheless in its openness, the accessibility of primordial awareness, both as potentiality and as the archetypical, can become our company. So now I'm going to read this text, the Jetsam Trauma. Begins, Emaho, it means fantastico. In order to actualize the beloved Dakini, Saraswati, she who brings forth the radiance of passionate joy, sublime joy, and co-emergent joy. And actually, on Massachusetts Avenue, in front of the Indonesian embassy, is a fantastic statue. She really looks alive, of her with children who she's giving wisdom to and protection. Part of the essence of the Dakini is protection. Awareness as protection. The great compassion as protection for innocentia, for the innocence. Easily forgotten. So we invoke the bodhicitta to become what we are. Omahung bodhicitta, Masuka, Yana, Datua. In every situation, Zang Hung Bang Ho. From the letter E comes a triangular source of all phenomena, having the nature of spacious. The top is wide open, and at the fine tip point comes downward, finiteness manifest. In the center of this triangle, within this sphere, SP Churi, is a palace having the nature of spontaneous presence. The essential nature, spontaneous presence. Hung Ho. And this palace is complete in all its inner and outer characteristics. There is the place of the deity. And there is this form of the mother, the divine mother, Tromar, the dark mother, the feminine embodiment of intense compassion. She is the darkest blue, fierce and magnificently luminous. You don't have to visualize this. You can just sense the arising of the experience if you want to. Her crown is adorned with the head of a grunting pig, grunting, squealing, symbolizing ignorance. Just like Lord Shiva over there, there's a dwarf under his foot. Same symbolization. She has one face and two arms, and she's so fierce and so powerful. Luminous energy, luminous, shining darkness. She is a warrior and manifests this uncanny laughter that we can hear both out loud and within our own bodies. Her two hands hold a hooked knife for cutting through delusion and density of experience, and a skull cup filled with blood, filled with the life force, filled with the vital essence, the life essence. A trident rests in the crook of her arm, Shiva's ornament. And she's in a dancing posture, one leg extended and the other leg bent in. And she stands within this mass of raging, blazing fire. And from the letters Hung Hung Maharanisa appears the invocation of all the dakinis in the different directions. The feminine spirit. White as water, yellow as earth, red as firmament, green as air. Huh? That's Ma is space, Ha, water, Re, earth, Ni, fire, Sa, air. The elements, the radiance brings forth the elements, bringing forth everything and anything. They're most subtle, most more intense. And these are the elements self-arising, manifesting worlds within worlds. Om Ha Vajra Ratna Padma Karma Buddha Vajra Vahare Hung Ha. So invoking the dakinis in another way. Hung Ho, from this invisible celestial realm of Kachara, Matroma, the dark mother, the soul mother, the dakini of great compassion, and is surrounded by the retinue of dakinis. Perhaps we can feel them. So I invoke you, we invoke you, please come to this place within us and around us and through us. And remaining And the sun, and the moon, and the lotus light seats empower us. Your devoted son and daughter. So we embrace you with love and the devotion of oneness, which is also gratitude. We can do that. Divine Dakini, Goddess, Divine Feminine Mother, in and through your creative compassion and the purest of love, transform our body, speech, and mind into Kadig, the great purity of awareness. Pure awareness, pure knowingness, pure heart. We'll feel that for a while. By embracing you, I become you. By embracing you, I become you. So experientially, the Dakini may initially appear as otherness, but through the embrace, we experience our own nature. You are awareness itself, stainless, space, unbound. And you are luminous darkness. And another invocation. Vajravahari Toti Kali Harinisa Zaza. Namo Vajra Kumari. Namo Toti Kumari Hum. I embrace the Dakini as the unbound, unborn, undying awareness, light. As the teaching Lama Torchen always focuses on this particular aspect, unborn, undying, deathless awareness. From the letters Om Ah Hung, within our heart center, the light radiates and expands, extends, and touches all the outer and inner circumstances. And we'll hold that for a few moments again, this extension, this expansion of the light, the heart essence, through us, the radiance. Touching the outer and inner circumstances. Then through this gesture, this movement, the Dakinis arise, bringing forth their own divine substance and songs and the melody and the experience of the bliss of the substances that they bring forth into the world and into our embodiment, And these offerings, these manifestations, are the essence of the root energies of the elemental light manifesting around us, but also within our own bodies. This is where the nectarian states come forth. And by combining these offering activities in this way, I, a practitioner, we as practitioners will easily receive the sublime siddhis, capacities. And the Dakinis, using passionate melodies, like we heard this morning, and the natural Dakini sign language, and the writing, the secret language on those they love. So sometimes it's described. One can hear the sound, or can feel being written on one's own body. Those sounds and words. And it's actually a form of offering the Yakinis are making. That dimension of awareness, becoming alive, becoming felt, known, moving, embodied. So inside the skull cup is a brilliant, luminous quintessence of Amrita, bliss, innate bliss, viscous, heart essence, heart drops. With that understanding, we'll focus. And with that, we'll extend that into the room, into each other. The heart drops. Often arising within the breathless breath. The blood, the life force in the skull cup contains ripples and vortexes. Chi Lili. And the precious sublime container holds this bodhicitta liqueur. Drops, liquid, light, bodhicitta. And these Amrita potions have many flavors, such as sour, bitter, sweet. And these unsurpassable essential substances are offered to the Divine Mother, the True Mother, Dark Mother, the Goddess of fierce and intense compassion. And they're offered to bring forth the White Goddess, the bodily emanations of great bliss. Perhaps you can feel that arising. And then they're offered to bring forth the Red Goddess, the speech, emanation of sound, of vibration, sublime vibration, sublime speech, authentic speech, Matrika Shakti. And then they, in turn, are offered to bring forth the awareness field, the emanations of Sangwayeshe, sacred, timeless awareness, wisdom, gnosis. And then they, in turn, are offered to bring forth the yellow goddess of the qualities of accomplishment. The qualities of accomplishment. The qualities of actuality. And they are offered to the green goddess who completes, empowers compassionate activities into fruitionalness. Then these in turn are offered to the oceans of the emanation of the mother and sister Dakinis, the oceans of radiant light, the sea of light, the sea of love. So invoke you to consider us in accepting these offerings with love, affection, and gratitude, bestowing this ultimate realization of the unsurpassable Sangwayeshe, timeless awareness, and the gift of the companionship of the Dakinis. Then there's this sound of the Dakini shout, ka ka kahi kahi. So then, this offering, if you want, you can place your hand by your heart, that little doorway, you don't have to, of the Amrita, the secret mantra. Hung, the unsurpassable, supreme Amrita, the drops, is this substance that brings forth unbound bliss, Masuka. And I offer this to this dimension, to the mother and all the Dakinis. Please accept and bestow this empowerment, this self-empowerment of cities of this action. Omahung Soropensa Amrita Karam Kahi. Almost done. So if you would like to perform hand offerings of Amrita, if you want, you can hold your hand. You don't have to. And you can make offerings, you can do it through your heart, by saying the names of the various Dakinis. Omahung. This is offered to the wisdom Dakini of the Dharmakaya. And you can feel Om Amung silently. And to the wisdom Dakini of the Sambhogakaya, Omahung. You can offer that, the light in your hand. To the wisdom Dakini in the Manakaya, Omahung. To the only mother, the soul mother, the trauma, the goddess of compassion, who brings forth everything and anything. To the different classes of the secret Dakinis, Omahung. To the Vidyadhara, the awareness holder, Pamasambhava, is the source of this particular empowerment. To the Dakini Yeshiyoso, the Dakini of divine nurturance, protection, companionship. To Orjam Tesim Lingpa, who brought forth this particular term or text, Omahung. To the Dakini Devadara, Omahung. To all the Bodhisattvas, Omahung. To the compassionate root guru, Omahung. To Lama Narla this morning, Omahung. To all the guardians of the termas, Omahung. And to the ocean of all the beings who are all worthy of offerings. This is all the beings, Omahung. And sense the Amrita descending and arising within the inner heart essence this morning. Omahung, please bestow upon us at this very moment the cities, the power, the Shaktis of enlightened body, the body of light, speech, and mind. luminous speech and luminous mind, primordial awareness permeating body, speech, and mind. Om Kaya Siddhi Vakta Siddhi Tista Siddhi Abhagesha Hum. Now, some praise of this experience. Oma Hung, Hung Ho, from the sublime celestial land of Ogmin, Dakini land, realm. The Mother comes through us through the power of compassion. The Mother comes through us through the power of compassion. Like we're doorways. Doctroma, you're luminous, magnificent, wearing the garments of the charnel ground, And you raise fire in your hand, dissolving the demonic. I embrace you. Hung ho, O white dakinis, whose light rays pacify. Yellow dakinis, whose laughter enriches. Red dakinis, whose passion and radiance magnetizes us. Green dakinis, who release the demonic, freeing us in circumstances. Dakinis who blaze wondrously, whose dances change dramatically, and whose lovingness and laughter enriches us in every circumstance. Om Vajra Pururisaya Ho, Om Vajra Vahari, Dordikale Harinisa, Hunkar, Hunkar, you're the dark blue Kali, unchanging, magnificent. Ka, you're the goddess Kamoshe, another emanation. Ga, how could there be so many distinct emanations? Cha, you're surrounded by a host of karma dakinis, whooping and clamoring. Cha, the fierce goddess, emanates in so many infinite forms. That's a key statement here in this text. The goddess emanates in so many infinite forms and finite forms. Ja, with the first portion of this potion, the whole area is filled with the light of the moon. And you emanate like the powerfully moving planet Venus. So in astrological terms, Venus is the planet and that energy that is often associated with the Dakini power. In this way, please establish all sentient beings on the path of enlightenment and destroy, cutting through, crude behaviors like black magic, curses, and bestow on us the supreme empowerment of this final stage. And please release us into the open spaciousness of the good mother, Samata Bhadri. Bhadra Samaya, Sista Hung Soha, means you like the Samaya of this. Almost done. Hung, from the unborn, completely pure Dharmadhatu, miraculous forms arise and manifest in every possible way. O wisdom Dakini, protector of all beings, Vajravahari, stainless space illumination, primordial guru, I embrace you as my own self, having never been separated and never apart, ever. Chema, that means alas, because of not recognizing the this thought-free, self-arising consciousness as Dharmakaya, O Mother, due to thoughts and fixations, fixated mind, I'm fixated only on my own self. And so I become freed by embracing the Mother, the Dharmakaya, the groundless ground, as my own self. And because of not recognizing or experiencing that all desires are self-originating and self-arising, and that thoughts and desires are liberated as they arise within me and around me and through me, my experience becomes murky and bewildered. And so again I embrace this Mother, the Sambhogakaya, as my own awareness. I own it. And because at not recognizing this ever fluent change of thoughts and movements of my mind, endless movements, they're all self-liberated in all their variety through their very movement. And I embrace the Mother as Namanikaya, as this world of flesh, because of not recognizing this effortless, spontaneous, complete consciousness is beyond all exertion, all striving, and all effort. I suffer relentlessly and unnecessarily trying to attain what is already given here and now. Because I lack realization of what is, I get caught up in the decision, yes and no, no and yes, lost in ambivalence, frozenness. And because Chema, not recognizing samsara and nirvana are in complete, total oneness, I create this unending split between myself and others and the very being of my own beingness. I embrace the Mother, this wisdom Mother, wisdom awareness, because of not recognizing that freedom from grasping at reference points and attributions. Is beyond the path. So I seamlessly progress in a fabricated way, looking at markers, which is no way at all. Because of not recognizing that whatever happens is ultimately beyond arising and ceasing. I've been striving in practice, accepting, and rejecting. And I did not realize that the Mother is groundless and rootless. I embrace the Mother who is beyond hope and despair, and not recognizing, not experiencing that birth and death are beyond all fear, beyond terror. And realizing alone is realization brings true confidence. Then this great statement, speaking back to us, howling. Nature itself is what benefits beings. And all apparent existence is the realm of the Dakinis. And movements of mind, memory, and awareness are the state of primordial purity. And this form of the trauma is the powerful play of compassion, the play of consciousness. This mother is truly the great bliss, free from striving. All sentient beings have the Dharmakaya nature, and by the power of this truth, this aletheia, may we realize this experience. May all of us attain the state of the mother, which is the natural state of the great perfection. Pet, the unborn. We'll sit back for a while and just rest. So Longchenpa was pointing out last week, as we integrate our minds into our awareness, this awareness, then awareness itself brings forth naturally where that transition, where we're not locked in our psychology, but actually begin to experience ourself cosmologically. So, remaining in awareness, it's a long morning, but a fun morning, hopefully. Let us turn to our companions, if you want to, or you can just sit and hold awareness. But I'd rather you not to do threes, to do twos, and remaining in awareness right now, remaining at this level, and then we'll do a practice together. And the people on the internet can also pair up with each other. But let's not joke around too much right now, because we really want to just for a little while maintain the tone of that text we were just in, okay? Everybody awake? Now we're going to focus with each other. Find a note. So here we are. Now, everybody's having a good time. So we're going to focus for a little while with each other. And you can sit by yourself. But if you can find a companion, you're welcome. Hi, you free? Come sit here. Okay, great. So remaining in awareness. So actually, conversations within awareness, or within the field of awareness, is not quite a conventional conversation. That sort of makes sense, eh? Everybody here awake and well? So, there's a person right there with you. So just for a few moments, focus on the person and focus within the person from the field of awareness which you've been cultivating for the past hour. So do not pop out. Or if you popped out, bring your mind back into awareness. That really is the essential practice. Popping in and popping out. So like those things that flash up on the computer, you know? What do they call? Pop-ins? Popping in, popping out. You pop in, you pop out. Sustaining, settling in. So, I'm going to focus on the person just in front of you. First, establishing yourself in the awareness state. And perhaps you have access still to the archetypal dimension. And you might even be experiencing the multidimensionality of your own being at this moment. And there's this person sitting in front of you. So as you focus, do not focus at the person. Do not focus on the person. Bypass at or on and simply focus within. But not within your mind. Do not go to mind reading. Actually, not even on their personality. Do not go into personality. Simply within yourself and with them awareness. And you might glimpse their mind a little bit and glimpse their personality. Or you might actually go through their personality. You can bypass personality or you can go through personality. That makes sense to you? To experience awareness. And that's just a metaphor, for many things. So, you're practicing both being known, because they're knowing you also, not through your mind alone, or through your wonderful personality alone, but through this embodiment that you are. And sometimes as you enter this awareness, you may experience the archetypal dimension, whatever that manifests as. Or you may experience that awareness embodied, however that manifests. But it's useful to take up this practice, being in the field, not simply attending to mind, bypassing that, bypassing personality, and even for a while bypassing the words, the signifiers that are being said. Though we're not using many signifiers at this moment. Sort of bypassing. Or going through mind, going through a person, going through the words, going through the vibrations within. This is a fantastic practice, by the way. In this connection, which is not a mind-to-mind connection, at least in the ordinary Western sense of the mind, or even an ordinary interpersonal connection, but it's connecting within awareness and within the non-duality or the indivisibility of the mutually held state. That word indivisibility is such a great Dzogchen word. And a little comment, one of my teachers who I loved a lot and love a lot, Irv Poster, who was a really great teacher, a master of awareness, still a master of awareness. He just wrote a new book, and part of the book, called Beyond Therapy, is on the indivisibility of awareness, which I think is cool and like it a lot. So there you are, noticing this mutually held awareness state, a state which is the light of awareness itself. There's a word the Hindus use, it's often used in astrology, Jyotismati. It describes being in the light of awareness, or being in the field of being as light. Light, experiencing the light, and the configurations of the light. So we're going to sit for a few moments. And if your eyes are closed, let yourself open your eyes with your whole body, because your whole body sees, right? So, and you're established. So first you're established, then you open your eyes and you enter, and you see this person. And if we wanted, we could start off by talking mind to mind, personality, but we're trying to move through that moving through, that penetration into. Gazing. Because when you integrate your mind, you can see through your eyes, right? You can see through, you can gaze through your body. The felt sense of awareness permeates the entire body. And I really appreciate everybody having such great discipline today. So how we really learn here is really we really learn phenomenologically, which is each of us articulating our experience from the place of experience, huh? So we're not commenting from our mind. We're actually, it's like poetry, huh? It arises directly out of experience. So we're going to focus. So I hand the microphone to you. Just pause for a moment and then watch what arises. And then you're giving that a voice. So I'm going to pass the mic around, and just just here and now, in this moment, in this practice, what's happening, and you allow yourself to speak essentially and briefly. Tap you there. If you really want to bypass, you can.
I'm so good at bypassing. I'm going to try not to bypass right now. Yeah, I'm very good at that. But in this moment, it was, it is a sweet, exquisitely melting, but like reluctant. It's like a reluctant. I have to really work at letting go. And, after 30 seconds, Marilyn and I are just like woozy. I'm feeling that we're woozy when I look at her for longer than 30 seconds, but it's very sweet, very beautiful.
Could you pause for a second and say, what is the woozy like? Describe that beautiful word, woozy, but from experiencing the nearness, that place, that felt sense of woozy.
Overwhelming, strong, light. light and dark, loss and then a coming forth.
Exquisitely described. Those various moments, appearing, disappearing, loss, overwhelming, and then keep passing through, the courage to pass through one experience, continuing, and then that last place. Thank you so much. And the next person, would you mind just articulating your experience right now?
For me, I lost the me, and with losing the me, I'm not sure what the word doesn't connect. It's what I became.
Yes, great.
And sitting in that becomingness was just so nurturing and so real and so vast is the only word.
Can you describe the nurturing vastness, what that experience feels like in its arising?
Well, to feel it, the me had to leave, and that was the best part. And so I could just be free. What did you ask me?
What does that freedom feel like? What does that freedom feel like? The word freedom? What's that felt sense of that?
Just that a knowing that it's larger than I am. It's not the I or not the me. And you can just float in that wonder of largeness, bigness, freedom. It's almost escapism in a earthly way.
In an earthly way. Like an unbounded way?
Yeah.
Let's just stay with it for another moment. Let yourself assimilate.
Yeah, now it's becoming clear without being clear, the way I might judge it.
What's it like becoming clear without being clear?
Freedom. Kind of a sweet knowingness, too.
Do you like embodying this place?
Of course.
Thank you so much. I'm going to just give you this microphone if you don't mind just articulating your experience. Just in the present.
The joy of communion when I've entered the oneness with Mimi, and then that moment when I felt her entering me, and that vortex of our becoming one, and that vortex then expanding to include the entire room, it became overwhelming and joyful.
Beautifully described. Just linger for another moment in your experiences. And what's arising in this moment?
Vast, vast stillness.
What's it like going beyond Mimi's mind? Not simply connecting to her mind. What's that like? Or did you go through her mind?
I passed it. The vastness is feeling overwhelming.
Do you like embodying
Yes.
You like learning to speak from vastness.
Yes.
What's it like to feel that you're actually learning, speaking from the vastness of your own awareness?
It feels exquisite. It feels powerful. Limitless.
What happens to your natural shyness at this moment?
I can't feel it or touch it. No.
Are you aware that this has its own life within you? It is you, but it has its own life.
Yes.
What's it like to feel it has its own life?
It's powerful. It's powerful in knowing that it's accessible. It's so strengthening. It goes beyond the giggles that I get when I access awareness. It's bigger than that.
Thank you so much. And the place in your hand, would you mind just describing your experience of what's happening right now for you? And we'll lean into the speaker, because when they speak, and when you feel together, it will open up to us, not just from the signifier, but the direct transmission of the vibrations.
Thisness feels vastly normal. Feels normal. More known.
Mm-hmm.
And comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Did you bypass her mind, or did you go through her mind? Did you bypass her personality, or did you go through it? Curious.
Oh,
You know?
bypassed.
What's it like to bypass a person's mind, bypass their personality?
Oh, goodness, it's so much easier. It just is, it's this very direct field to field, resonant connection. And each one of us has this, it's like a flavor or a scent or whatever. And it's, to me, that's the most fun, direct, easy relating.
There's a sort of sameness and different scent at the same time.
Yes.
So even at that moment, there's oneness and difference. Huh?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So that oneness and difference and
when
that
you're
quality.
bypassing her mind, do you bypass your own mind? That's a question for all of us.
I'm not sure whether I'm bypassing it. However, the mind is much more integrated into the field.
Well said. It's It's a difference, isn't it? When mind's
Yeah.
integrated in the field, that companionship is much more together.
Yeah, well, and then there's sort of a, I'm going to call it like a liquid discerning. You know things, you don't know things. Oh, ooh, that's interesting. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, feel that. Wow. All that's still, the senses are still very present. Everything is still present.
All present.
But it's, there's not like an attachment or a judgment.
That's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot different.
Thank you so much. I'm going to place this in your hand if you don't mind, just describing your experience. We're all going to focus on the speakers because that's really how we learn what we can learn. Do you mind describing your experience with this morning, right now, with companion?
When I first looked at
Into the mic.
When I first looked into Lorette's eyes, I felt like I was seeing every face that had ever lived and ever would live. And I'm feeling the archetype of the Great Mother very strongly.
Could you put to words how that experience feels for you of the Great Mother? Archetypal.
I just feel her holding me, and she is moving me, and I'm moving with her. And it's pulling apart. And coming together. And she's just saying that I have to dance with her. That I have to let her hold me and stay with her. And everything would be okay.
What's it like feeling the truth of that in your body? Not as a belief, but this kind of perceptual confidence.
It's the purest truth. It's the purest love. It's just everything. It's just everything.
Thank you so much. And Lorette, would you mind particularly putting to words your experience?
The completeness of the absorption into the state of pure awareness came when Chris looked at me, and this force of that entered in through the eye connection and filled up while and annihilated at the same time. Anything that was in the way of that was gone, and then there was just this vibrant, energetic, complete stillness that was all there was. And then as Chris would close her eyes, I would hold that experience, and then it would subside a little bit, and then when she would look again, it would come again. It was the depth of the connection of the soul to soul presence that then creates the vast presence. It's just surprisingly and beautifully powerful.
Exquisitely articulated. Thank you so much. Everybody's awake. Would you mind articulating your experience?
I have had a very different experience for me today. When you began with the empowerment, I felt embraced by all of the purity of the Dakini, and I was embraced, and I became that presence, and I became the all-encompassing mother. And so as the empowerment went on, and it was the yellow Dakini, and it was the red Dakini, and it was like, okay, all of these things are emanations of me. Let me take them in. And I just stretched out further and further, and I was on the side of being everything instead of just each, well, not instead of, I was incorporating each emanation. And then when I began with Carol, it was like, okay, I am an emanation, as is she. I saw her as an emanation, and then experienced myself as an emanation. And in a way, it was like, oh, damn, I'm here in the here and now. I'm not just in this place where I can gobble up everything and be more light and be more energy and be more spaciousness and more and more and more. I am here. I'm grounded. Damn it. and
Such an experience, huh?
And so it was both, and having to hold both, and having to be here. And when you said to bypass, it was like everything inside me was saying, no, you incorporate. Mm-hmm. You don't bypass, you take it in, and that becomes part of this whole big, indivisible experience. But at the same time, you're an emanation, and you're grounded. And it was experiencing Carol as another emanation that made me realize that.
Exquisitely, it's like the sublime digestion.
Yeah.
Where everything is food.
Yeah.
And you take it and you digest it.
But I'm also here.
Completely here, simultaneously.
Yeah.
Same time. Thank you so much. Really, really useful.
Well, it began with when you called in, asked us to be in touch with the archetypal initially. And when Steve and I were driving in this morning, I pointed out to him, because I saw on the face of this church this incredible golden Gabriel with his. So Gabriel just, was like right here, and everything felt very golden. And then it's interesting what Steve is saying, because my experience. I didn't feel any separation between he and I. I felt just a very sort of endless connection, but it was also full of the elements. There was a time when it felt very earthy, a time when it felt like I was filled with fire and heat, and then time when you said to open our eyes, it became very liquid, very watery, the whole sense of it, and then it became very spacious and filled with air at the same time. And And all the while, I don't think I've ever been in a place so still, just in utter, complete stillness. I don't know, that's
Stay with that. Do you think you have to leave the stillness? That's actually a real question. Do you think you have to leave the stillness?
at this moment, I feel like that stillness is so much a part of who I am, my experience. I feel that inner core of stillness.
What's it like to think you do not have to leave the stillness?
It's wonderful.
That program. Thank you so much. Focus right here. Would you mind articulating just what's happening now? What's your experiences like as you enter this awareness?
Deeply, deeply settling into, as Carol said, a stillness that had both a rootedness and a lightness to it. And then with my partner bringing in a rounder horizontal quality into that settled and rootedness in not only locally but in the entire room.
That's really interesting and cool. Would you describe that round?
It's like I don't really experience my boundaries. It's very porous, and it has a kind of limitless expanse to it.
And it has a rounded.
Very rounded, yeah.
Sometimes the yogis in the Chama call it the roundedness, the great roundedness.
Yeah.
Stay with that another moment.
Yeah.
What's it like for you to live in that sphere, S-P-H-E-R-E, rounded? That's beyond you, with you.
Well, it seems like it would be exquisite in that it provides an opportunity for an expansive field experience that goes beyond my boundaries.
Exquisitely said. Thank you so much. And Barbara, do you mind describing your experience?
Each one of these sharings is having a big impact on me. And when you ask the question about stillness and can it stay with you, what would that be like to have that stay with you? And not have to leave it. It like totally changed where I was. And it was as though this round ball of stillness entered from the top of my head and came all the way down and landed right here in the pelvic area. And then just, I don't know, I just had this other image, you know, those toys that you would punch over, those little plastic things, and they pop right back up again because they're kind of weighted down low. That's really great. But that's interesting because that was not something that I was with until you said that. And that just came in so directly. And my experience with Diana at the very beginning was also the amazing directness of experience. It totally shifted. It was like where I had been before I sat in front of her, like sort of imperceptibly slid away. And there was this immediate connection beyond personality and going into infinity. Just perfect love, really, love.
That cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much. Everybody's awake still. Here we are. And I'm going to ask these two folks just share briefly your experience.
As I've been connecting with Carol, I have been experiencing a channel inside my body. At first I thought it started at the throat center, but now I realize it starts at the heart. And there is an ecstatic energy that is leaping up from the heart center all the way up through my third eye, through the top of my head. and it's really a dancing energy. And as the energy moves up through the Sahasrara, I feel my own exalted nature, and then I connect with Carol's exalted nature. And there are times when it enters a space where there's a little bit of content, like I feel an ancient wisdom in her, and then there are other times when I just feel this, like we're two trees standing majestically with our exalted nature. And then sometimes I'm trying to gather myself up, so I close my eyes, and this energy just keeps leaping through this channel that I described. And I know that I'm receiving from Carol as well. My mind doesn't quite understand how, but that's what I'm experiencing. I'm receiving from Carol. My mind doesn't understand how. Once in a while my mind is wondering about it. But it just feels like we are awakening in each other this exalted nature. And it's reaching higher and higher.
We learn how to do this here. We pause for a little bit and sort of watch what arises. And sometimes nothing happens for a while. Don't worry about it too much.
It took a little bit of just being with Patricia and sort of letting any self-consciousness kind of melt away. And particularly when we opened our eyes, I could feel this kind of thickness of energy between us. And she became, I could see her face sort of glowing in colors and aura. And I just felt this very deep connectedness through. She felt to me like an archetypal Indian maiden. And I just, the more I got into it, the more I just wanted to stay there. And just a lot of warmth.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll just hold awareness. We're coming near the end of our morning today, and I really appreciate everybody being and holding awareness. For some reason, I just want to read one little thing from this great text by Longchenpa. It was actually from a text called Self-Arising, one of these tantras. Awareness abiding without conceptuality is Dharmakaya, radiant unceasing awareness is Sambhogakaya, and awareness appearing as anything whatsoever is Namanakaya. And this book is a new translation of Longchenpa's. It goes by different names, Precious Treasury of Genuine Meaning, or as David Germano would translate it, Words and Meaning. But it's translated by Sanjay Khandro, who is a great translator and a great yogi and teacher in Lama Chonam. So this is a great text, and it's out of Bharotsana. Okay? We'll talk more about it next week. We'll be focusing on that. So let's just sit for a minute. So if anybody wants to say anything, they're welcome. We got a few more minutes, and we just can say anything we want if you want to. I'm not even going to pass you the mic, though. Where you at? So we've been cultivating in our awareness for the past 2 hours now. Let's extend to Lama Nora one more time. Into the monastery, people helping you. Light, meeting the light. We're going to end with just one clap, if you don't mind. Just a clap like... Wait, ceiling. Thank you, guys. We'll meet next week. And this Saturday, I think we will have Dakini again day. And I'm going to play... it starts at 7:30, right? Is it 7:30? It starts at 8 o'clock. 8. Let's do 8. 8 o'clock, okay. 8. Starts at 8. And we'll have a video of Lama Torchen teaching... Durjam Lingpa's text, and then we'll have a practice. Thank you guys so much. Hasta la vista. See you later. Take it easy.